Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead about 28 minutes as I'm on here early enough just to make sure that we're ready to go. Clean off all the fuzzies on my microphone. There you go. Get everything set up, ready to go here for today's program. And another windy day in southwest North Dakota. Is this ready? It's ready. Giddy up. It is ready to go. Hmm. You know, life could be worse. I could be calving sheep or lambing. Why isn't that sending? Evidently, it's not sending. Okay, whatever. Oh, it's sending it twice. Perfect. Good morning, Waylon. Good morning, Mike Wagner. Filling in for Todd again. Good enough. Good enough. If anybody in the radio business needs a day off, it's Todd Mitchell. If you can guess what round this is, I'll make sure Jamie Brecht gives you a shirt. These are all lady sizes, by the way. Because as of next Tuesday, he's going to have a box full of those T-shirts to give away. Because two reasons. One, my mail service is incredibly slow out here. And two, I don't want to pay for shipping. So there you go. Let's play What's in Your Pockets today. Okay. You tell me what this is for. And why I have that in my pocket at this point in my life. And it's not a, what do they call that? Where you smoke pot out of it. It's not one of those things either. Dave from Minnesota. Good morning. Good morning. Good to have you chiming in here this morning. Oh, that's Waylon doing here. All right. What the hell? That's a big canine right there, Waylon. East of Washburn, huh? That is a big canine. I'm not going to say that on the air. It is a big canine. It's a feral dog, is what I'm going to say. Because if I say the other thing, then everybody's like, oh, you can't say that. Good morning, Karen. Hope everything in Mobridge is going well for you. Yikes. So the large canines like that were around in many, many years, right? For many years. And everybody's like, oh, we don't have the habitat. Oh, we don't? Really? Excuse me, I had to sneeze there for a second. But yeah, we do have the habitat to support large canines. Just a matter of time. Oh, they're just passing through. I could show you right over there a den of them. Good morning, Wayne. So Wayne, I read through your Assessment here. Where is it? Here it is. The Badlands Work Group. So I read through this document. I'll have to give you a call here and I think it's a good start. I don't know if this is going to help people like, I'm going to be selfish here. I don't think it's going to help people like me with any numbers of people coming in here. I don't think that it will. Maybe in some areas. I completely understand. I think it is a good start. But I just don't see the traffic slowing down with this format. So, and I know it's a tough one. That's a tough one. But the traffic slowdown, all I want is people to have to sign in and take responsibility for what they go in and do. We have to do it, through our grazing association. If you're going to go on federal land or public land, it's not public, it's federal land. You need to sign a contract and put in days when you're putting cattle in, taking them out, and they check you. And if you don't have them, you get a 5-day variance off of that date. And if you put them in early or if you have something in there late, you get charged extra per day, per head, if you're not out of there. Because in their eyes, you're taking a resource off of that. Same way should be for hunting. Sign in. Let me know who's there. If you start a fire, you're liable for it. And keep track of that. That's it. I have no problem that you're hunting it. I just want to know who's there and who's liable for everything that's going on in that area. Because there's been many, many times where somebody was driving and started a new trail or wandered off and got stuck and four-wheel drive themselves out and disturbed this dirt. And the guy that has the allotment had to pay for it, including me. So that's the one where I'm not sure of. That's where I'd like to have a little bit more control over. Dan Brown, good morning. Morning. Good. Thanks for watching the show with Jamie and Jesse last night. Appreciate that. Scotty Bulgy, good morning. Good to have you along. June 2nd or 3rd, I think, is when Ben is coming up. I hope you're up here too. June 3rd. And there's no reason you couldn't come up a few days early and attend 2 brandings that weekend. Look at there. You're going to call it on your own. Nice.
What not?
Don't hate that. Gene Cox, good morning. You've changed hats. No, I took my hat off and I put my cap on. There's a difference. This is a baseball cap. That is a cowboy hat. Difference. Are you driving?
I am. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that it goes in and out.
Well, I'm coming off my Wi-Fi. I'm just pulling out of my yard.
No, it's not that. It just like when you don't talk, you can hear more background noise, and then when you talk, it cuts out the background noise type of thing.
Oh, I see.
Well, we got some new stuff going on here. Eric, good morning. YouTube, this site has been updated in the background. Okay. Got some weird stuff going on here. I got some new messages on my computer that I've never seen pop up before. Interesting.
I just had a situation last night where I remembered yesterday I was supposed to grab some stuff out of our Washburn office to bring to Bowman, and I forgot to stop there on my way through. So now before I come to Bowman, I am on my way to Washburn. So that's part of why I couldn't be down there in the studio today.
I see. That's all right. So you're going to go to Washburn, Bismarck, Belfield, and South.
No, I'll come back to Hazen. It's faster.
It is, really.
Yeah, actually the fastest way is to come back towards Hazen and turn south at Pensler and go down. Excuse me.
You know what you could do
Go
is
down the center.
you could go down to
Go over.
Bismarck, Mandan, all the way down to McIntosh, and then over on Highway 12.
Good.
Not faster,
Probably
but
be late for
you
the
could see
funeral.
some new country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, before we go live here, I got a couple questions.
Oh, we're live on YouTube right now.
Right, but live.
Yeah. Okay.
Over the airwaves live. If I buy a push-to-talk pigtail and hook an SM7B into it, and then hook that into the school's sound system for the gym, would it work, and would it make a difference? Don't they need phantom power?
No, you don't need phantom power for the SM7Bs. It helps. It makes them sound better. I don't think it would help. I don't think so.
Too much background noise, and just as a PA like that, it probably wouldn't be much of a difference over my wireless, would it?
I don't think so. You know, why would you want to push to talk?
Because you have to turn the mic on and off all night long, constantly, anyway.
Yeah.
So it would be just an easy thing to have in your hand. You push it, you announce the basket, you let it go.
So
you push it, you announce the steal or the foul or whatever, you let it go.
Yeah. I think you'd be like one of the Sennheiser mics that I use for auctioneering. They got a larger slider button for on and off.
Right.
That would probably be a little bit more helpful for you, but I think it's better to have that switch on and off. Otherwise, you might get caught with a hot mic. I just don't know about that push to talk. I think it's the same thing. You're still going to have to sit there and push a button, no different than your microphone now. So I don't think it's any different.
The wireless works good because mine, it's not an on and off button. It's you power it on and then it's a click to mute.
Right.
So it does work good and it's completely silent. There's zero on-off sound at all. So it's been working. It's just
same thing with the
same
thing with the Sennheiser mics. There's no clicker. You can't tell when you turn it on or off. Yeah.
Soft switch.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be beneficial. You're still going to have to be pushing a button. So I think if you're going to do a push to talk or anything, I think you need to get one of the Billy Blanks headsets and go that route. That way, you know, I call it a cough button, but it's basically a push to talk.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That's my question.
Yeah. I'd like to get a headset type of a system as well, but they are spendy.
Well, you should be able to just buy a headset unit for your Sennheiser wireless.
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah. Stations, 7 o'clock on the nose coming up here. 7 o'clock on my mark here. Ready? And mark. 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock Central.
1.5 seconds off of you.
6 o'clock. Where Dixie's in Portland, Oregon right now.
So?
What?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you have the whole heifer herd that's not calved inside last night?
Or? I did. I went out after we got done with last night's 701 Nation. I was like, you know what? I mean, the wind is just brutal. Yeah, that wears me out more than anything else. But it was so brutal last night again. I was like, you know what, the hell with this. I just put them all inside. I'm like, if you're gonna calve in here. That way, they're not going to get froze down with the wind or anything. Just deal with that. And only one of them calved. So, but there's like a handful that are like so close.
So now during a day like this, you just leave that end of the door open so they can free choice inside if they want.
No, I do leave the door open to air it out because it's crapped up pretty good. I air it out, and I also leave airflow in there for the pairs that I have separated off.
Yeah.
I don't allow them to go back and forth in there because it just gets so full so quick. And
Gotcha.
if I would have had cement poured in there, but since I don't, it is a son of a gun keeping that clean without scraping out all the dirt and everything in the inside. Do you got me on speaker or something?
Yeah, in my pickup.
Okay, so every time you stop talking, it gets really scratchy. And then when you
when we go live, I'll pull it off and just hold the phone.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Jeez, that was loud in my ear.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, I killed another good soldier this morning.
Oh.
In 4 years, I have been through 3 bottles of whiskey to take my ivermectin, and I just killed the third here this morning.
Oh, I got rid of that last nasty one.
That tin cup is not good. No. But here's to the ivermectin shot of the week.
There's the...
Glad to get that stuff out of there. Oof. I should start manning up and just taking ivermectin straight like you do, but I can't do it.
Yep.
It is terrible. Actually, I'm going to try some here right now.
I don't really think it has that much of a taste.
That's because you have no taste buds.
Oh, yes, I do.
I'm going to try.
All right.
Oh, God. Oh, God. It's so bad. It's so bad.
You're such a Nancy.
If you don't think that has a taste, you don't have any taste, buddy. Good God, that is terrible. 701 Nation says, Jesse, there's a new thing called earbuds.
Yeah.
They don't sound any better anyway, especially when
you're in a pickup driving.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, when are they doing the drawing? Are we 1.23 billionaires yet or not?
That would be this evening, I believe. So we will find out later today.
I'm telling you right now, folks, if you're listening on YouTube, watching on YouTube, there's a good chance after today, Dakota Prairie Outdoors might not be around. Or there's a good chance Dakota Prairie Outdoors is going to go on tour for the rest of its entirety, doing shows from everywhere I want. Because I'm going to hire somebody to watch my cattle and just go out and have fun the rest of my life. I shouldn't say that.
Even if a guy doesn't win the billion and become a billionaire, I'd be happy with being 1,000-aire.
Well, okay, so you win 1.2 billion, half of that goes to taxes. So say you're a 500 millionaire, and then you and I are going to split it, so we each got 250, right? That's our cash option out of that. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, 60 seconds, by the way, till showtime. I guarantee you, we're going to have the coolest boat at the Dakota Walleye Classic, and we're going to follow Brent around on Lake Hawaii a lot.
Giant pontoon with twin 300 fishing pole motors.
Pontoon. No, I am not that old yet.
Neither am I, but it'd be like fishing out of a minivan because we can.
Get a big houseboat. All right, stand by here. We got 20 seconds. I'm going to turn you down here. Stations, 15 seconds of showtime here. I'll answer that question when we get on the air. Stand by. 10 seconds. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Heard all across all around the world, first off, on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio, and across the Dakota Territory, which I'm proud to serve many communities, including KGFX out of Pierce, South Dakota, KOLY out of Mobridge, K-Fire 550 out of Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB in Minot, and the Western Edge, KLTC out of Dickinson. So I appreciate you guys and stations that have kept up with me for nearly 2 decades strong. Jesse Flaff from Western Frontier Insurance is my guest here for the hour, and we're going to talk about what grinds your gears and answer anybody's questions about anything. And the first question that comes in, Jesse, is so before we started on air, the big Powerball drawing is tonight, $1.23 billion, and you bought tickets for you and I both. And if I win this, I said, good chance I'm going to hire somebody. And Jay Berg's already going to, he said, you can hire me. So right away, and you'll be paid well. There's no doubt, but I don't know if I could do that. If you did win the lottery and you did not technically have to work anymore, would you not work, or would you continue to work, but just work more with better things? Or would you keep it the same? What would you do? Would you do anything different in your life, Jesse? I mean, you continue to do what you do, wouldn't you?
No,
Really?
no. I wouldn't do anything that I didn't have to. I would still have the agency, but I would just no different than you hiring somebody to watch your cattle or do your haying for you. My employees would probably end up with ownership, and the agency would continue to be going on, and they'd all get some bonus stuff. And but myself personally, I would be scarce. You know, it's tough. I got young kids still, so you got the whole school thing, and I do still believe that public school, for all of its downfalls, there is still a benefit to it, because I sure as the heck aren't going to teach them. But I'd still, I wouldn't move to some fancy place or anything. I'd still be in the same yard that I'm in now, but I would definitely be gone from that yard more often than I am now.
There would be a couple ways, if I won the lottery. One would be every neighbor would know, because I would have continuous fence around the entire ranch, and out of steel, and I wouldn't have to worry about fixing fence as much as I do right now. I
wouldn't have continuous fence. I would just hire somebody to put brand new 4-wire strand all the way around.
I would go continuous, just because it's going to look cool.
Just because
I'm the only one that has continuous fence. All right. And but and then like you and I said before, I would have probably one of the coolest fishing boats, and I would follow Brent Chemnitz in Mobridge around all summer. Wherever he takes his clients, I would be very close in his pocket.
Why wouldn't you just hire him for the whole summer and just go with him?
Because that's no fun for him. You got to remember. So, I mean, you fished with Brent. So when you fish with Brent enjoys his clients. He enjoys taking different people out. I enjoy, and this is no different for me. I enjoy what I do. I really do. Would I do with things different? Yes, because I would have the money to put in different facilities, and I'd have money to do different things and buy different genetics, right? I could, how fun it would be to go to a bull sale and be able to buy the genetics that everybody else wants to. And, that would be fun. There's no doubt about that. But would it change my hunting style? Probably not.
Not your style, just the ability to go after whatever you want.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'd be in Texas a lot.
I would do it Texas. I'd love to do a red stag hunt in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I'd love to do.
I got connections there.
I'd love to do a caribou hunt. There's a lot of things, but I would spend quite a little time in Texas because they have a lot of exotics down there and do that. But would I leave the area I'm in now? Absolutely not, because I'm a community player, and I guarantee that my close friends would all receive a lot of money on behalf of me. The local churches would receive a lot of money, and the local different type of school situations would receive some money out of that too. I would definitely be a player on that. So anyway, if you haven't bought your lottery tickets tonight, $1.23 billion is what's going on. So Daryl E says, you live for today. I do. Jay Berg says, the horses and saddles I would buy. Yeah, I would probably get into the horse buying a little bit more serious. I'd probably do that. Okay. Text message comes in, says, when is the elk and moose draw? That is in June. That's coming out, I do believe, is what the Game and Fish in North Dakota said, is when they're going. It's actually, I just got my email notification on the North Dakota border that today is the day, if you are a landowner, to get your gratis applications in for deer today.
It's deadline today?
No, it's not the deadline. It opened up today.
Oh, gotcha.
So I did that for myself and my wife here. I got that done this morning before we started the radio program. And so the Game and Fish in North Dakota, I'll give you hats off, making it one of the easiest processes to apply. All right, so
especially if you have an account set up, because you go in there and it saves your stuff from last year, and it is pretty handy.
It is very
That's one of the things that does work very good on their website.
And I'm glad they went to an all online thing. I am. The paper stuff, it's bygone, right? I mean, the only thing I wish we could do is have it all done at one time, because I had to do the big three, the elk, moose, and bighorn sheep. I got all those applications in, and then a week later, then I got to do the official license, the combination license, and then a couple weeks later here is the gratis. I wish we could do it all at one time and just be done at one situation. But
see, and I wait a little while so that I can do the big three and my combination sportsman tag all at once.
Yeah.
If you wait about a week, you can do all of those, because the times will coincide and overlap.
Yeah.
But the spring turkey tags open up at a different time. The regular deer tags open up at a different time.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they don't do that just for a workflow thing in their office.
That could be too. I agree. It might be a workflow, but it is really, really easy.
Yeah.
Daryl Lee, you still buy a license? I know. Here's the thing. I know it's in the Century Code that hunting is an actual right in the state of North Dakota, and technically you don't have to. But I don't have the money to take that to court and fight it there. So I just don't. So all right, we got people here messaging in. It says, geez, holy moly, 3 tunes for pontoons, a tri-tune, dominate regular boats. That includes for fishing. No.
No, good Lord.
No.
Come on up. You bring your tri-tune up, and we'll go fishing on 4 or 5 foot rollers, and we'll see how you do.
Eric down in South Dakota says, if I won the lottery, he'd buy the family farm back. I think a lot of people would do that. The mayor says, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there would be changes. And we'll have more. We'll have more coming up. We're up against our first break. Jesse Flatt from Western Frontier Insurance is with me here this morning, solving the world problems in the outdoors and more. Please message me or call in if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Back after this.
Agriculture is a community of hard work, passion, optimism for the future, and a commitment to the livestock and land. For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been a leader in ag financing. Our local lending team knows the industry and the challenges, from droughts to winter blizzards. Stop by one of our branches today in your work boots or cowboy boots. You're always welcome.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Piper's 2024 auction calendar is heating up. Join us in Steele on April 23rd. Ad deadlines are fast approaching, so reach out to a Piper's representative today to ensure your equipment is featured in these Piper's regional auctions. Piper's is also hosting an exceptional lineup of retirement and estate equipment auctions in Mandan, Beach, Bowman, Glen Ellen, and New Salem. For full details, information, and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the upper Midwest, log on to pipers.com.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, Bowman, North Dakota had a sale on Wednesday due to the weather. 759-pound steers were selling for $2,146 a head. 599-pounders anywhere at $1,900 and up. 426-pounders at $1,648. Some of the older cows weighing 1,420 pounds were at $1,831, and 1,595-pounders up to $2,057 a head. Bulls went anywhere from $2,600 to $3,100 a head. For more information and a full market report, go to BowmanLivestockMarketing.com or find them on Facebook. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran-owned and operated. Hello, cattle producers. Scott Bachmeyer on behalf of Medicine Rocks Angus Ranch. Please join us on April 26, 1 p.m. at the Bowman Livestock Market or online at frontierlivesales.com for an offering of 85 bulls and 65 commercial heifers. You wonder why docility is so important to Frank and Charlene? Well, I think Frank says it best.
We've raised black cattle for over 60 years and worked on disposition since we started. And I think we've made a lot of progress. We're both 85 now and won't win any foot races and don't climb fences like I used to. So aren't going to tolerate a cow with a bad attitude. So docility is a must in our operation.
See what a quality program and docility can do for your herd and your health. Medicine Rocks Angus Ranch, along with guest consignor Spring Angus. April 26, 1 p.m. Mountain Time at the Bowman Livestock Market. Lunch will be served at noon. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. Bowman Livestock Marketing, Bowman, North Dakota had a sale on Wednesday due to the weather. 759-pound steers were selling for $2,146 a head. 599-pounders anywhere at $1,900 and up. 426-pounders at $1,648, and 491-pounders anywhere at $1,630 to $1,650 a head. Some of the older cows weighing 1,420 pounds were at $1,831, and 1,595-pounders up to $2,057 a head. Bulls went anywhere from $2,600 to $3,100 a head. For more information and a full market report, go to BowmanLivestockMarketing.com or find them on Facebook. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran owned and operated.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors, Saturday edition. Benny Paulson music right there. You can find them on Apple Play and all on Amazon, too. Jesse Flath is my guest. You know what that song reminds me of, Jesse? If you can figure out what's going through my mind when that song is playing at this point, I'll be impressed with you.
When you and I and John and Tess went, and was Dixie with us? I don't remember. I don't think so. I think she was gone on a trip.
we went down to Sturgis and watched them guys play in the wintertime when
We did.
when we won.
That's not what was going through my mind, but that's a good one too.
Oh.
That's a good one too.
I got her.
Every time I hear his song,
Yeah.
okay, I secretly, and this is not a secret anymore, but I secretly want to be a drummer. Okay.
Yeah.
And what that song, every time I get the beat and I want to I hit the table on my desk and everything. And it reminds me of south of Kadoka, South Dakota, when
Oh,
you
buddy.
brought a motorcycle, I bought one, and I came and picked it up, and you got on stage at this wedding out in the middle of nowhere. I can't remember. It was way down out in the middle of nowhere. And you got on
Long Valley, South Dakota.
Long Valley, South Dakota. You got on stage and played with the band, and you're no drummer, but you kept a good beat. And
I made it work.
you made it work, and yeah, because the drummer wanted to take a break, and you're like, I'll drum.
And they said, "You know how to drum?" I'm like, "We're gonna find out."
Good stuff. Long Valley, South Dakota. Yeah, that's where it was.
Yeah, that was actually for
Paul. Yeah.
I believe it was a 50th anniversary for my step grandpa and grandma, the
Yeah.
Howard Hancock's folks down there.
All I know is I slept in my pickup that night because there was no area that, they did not expect me to come, and
there was a lot of people
there
there.
was a lot of people. Yeah.
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 Less than Selma Hancock.
You even remember the name?
Well, yeah, it's grandma's still around.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
Long
Grandma
Valley.
Selma's still around.
It's a good area. They do
they're-
that. They do that kids
they're-
coyote hunt down there too.
Yep.
Still, yeah.
Yep, Sarah's stepsister and her husband, they're involved in that. They make all the potatoes for the big feed, and it's a really good community minded area like we're used to. Great people down there.
Yeah, it is. Good folks. Good folks. So we were talking about winning the lottery on the first portion of the program. Just getting through the rest of these comments on YouTube here. It says, I'd keep working, but I'd move out of town. No doubt about that. The mayor says, I wouldn't tell anybody, but there would be changes. And he says, if you do win the lottery, Scott, just hunt. If you get caught, pay the fines. I'm not going to do that. I still think that laws are good to go by. There's no doubt. There needs to be order. I get that. One shot Cap says, if I won the lottery, I'd run for governor. And here's the bad part is, all right. So we did this last night on the 701 Nation. We did Jamie's podcast. I said, I'd like to run for Congress. And Jamie's like, well, Scott, you don't have enough money. Why does it take this much money? Why do you have to be rich in order to run for a public office? You know, that just makes me sad. So now I'm putting it out there right now. I don't know how to do it, but I want to run. There you go. Help me out, folks. I want to run. I want to run for Kelly Armstrong's open spot that's going to be happening on the national side, not the state side. Because both in North and South Dakota, I think the state representatives need to get paid way more because it is not a very good job. I'm sorry.
No, they don't get paid much. A lot of people
they don't.
raised a ruckus when they gave themselves, in air quotes, a raise here about 2 or 3 sessions ago. But if you really look at the number of meetings and hours and time that they spend doing what they do, you couldn't talk me into running for a state position for nothing.
No.
Not that anybody would want me in there, but I definitely, them people do a good job. You might not like some of the decisions they make for the state, whether it's North or South Dakota, but you couldn't pay me enough.
At least they're stepping up and running for it. And it is definitely, I know Oren Lesmeister out of South Dakota. He's one of my only liberal friends that I had on the program ever. And he and he's up against his term limit down there. So this is last year. He's going to be running, helping out down that way. And I don't know, are they going to do it term limit wise, where if you spend X amount of years off, can you run again? Or
I don't think so. I think you're done.
Turned out. Well, that hurts, especially smaller rural communities like my district, where nobody wants to do the job.
Yeah, the one thing I did ask, and I never really got a good answer for in North Dakota since they put term limits in, is if you serve your time in the Senate and term out, can you also then serve limits in the House?
Right.
I'm not sure. I never really got an answer on that. So maybe one of the listeners out there knows that answer.
Well, we don't want to get political. One more thing. Mayor says, isn't everybody in Congress a millionaire when they come out? It's like winning the lottery. I don't know about that. See, I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't think so. And that's what gets me is why do you have to be so banked up with money in order to run for a public office like that anyway? So I don't like that. Anyway, all right, get to text messages here. We got plenty of them. 2 terms in each, he says. You got your answer. 2 terms in each.
Okay. Who said that?
Mr. Lease.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think he's probably texting me too, but it's hard to check text messages when I'm talking on the phone. So.
Yeah. Jamie says, my buddy owned a guided fishing service on Lake Hawaii, and all he uses is Tri-Tunes. Said he'll never go back to regular boats again. And who fishes in 3-foot rollers anyway? You know who does?
I do.
You know who does? People that buy and hire a guide for a certain day, 6 months away, and that is the day you're locked in. That's who fishes in that stuff. So,
or you're fishing a tournament, and guess what? Go time, boys.
Somebody says, I'm listening to you on iHeart.com. You're fading in and out. That's not my issue. Yeah. And another guy says that you'd buy a license if you won the lottery. You know, all game animals taste the same with or without a license. South Dakota, Oren's listening. He says, we have 4, 2 terms, 8 total in each side. So, yeah.
Okay.
So you can do both
so
sides.
they can switch across over there as well. Cool. Thanks, Oren.
Yeah, appreciate that. So, but I mean, you look at that and it just upsets me, you know, we're still talking about that. Second half of the program, we're going to talk more about the game animals across the area and if you have your tags applied for or not. But yeah, I just don't understand why it has to take so much money to run. And I don't even know. I have never looked into what it takes to even officially apply for running for the House of Representatives for the national side. But I'm guessing it's, is there fees involved in this or is it just paperwork? I have no idea. Do you know?
I don't know.
Somebody's going to tell me. I'm sure I'll get a text message here shortly on this one. So
maybe Kelly's home and listening. He can let us know what you have to do to run.
You know, Kelly said he'd come on the program with me, and I'm hoping he does. And we'll discuss if he does win governorship. He's running against a few other people. A lot of people putting their name in the hat for the governor of North Dakota. I have no idea what's going on in the South Dakota side, but it's going to be interesting, the political side of things, and not only that, Jesse, but depending on who your governor is, really decides what's happening in your hunting and fishing side of things too.
In North Dakota, it does.
Yeah. South Dakota's got. So North Dakota wanted to put in like a commission together, like South Dakota does, and that got voted down. Like it didn't even make it out of committee. Like it got.
Like a hunting commission or what?
Yeah, like a game and fish commission. Like these,
okay.
Yeah, it got like slaughtered right away. And yeah, so I think South Dakota has a good idea on that one. But there you go. And let's see if it's all lottery things. Lottery's $1.23 billion. If you don't have your tickets, go buy them today. That's what's going on this afternoon. And remember, since you heard it from me, and if you did buy a ticket and you win, just remember us small folks out here.
You'd like a commission?
I don't want a commission. I want the person, whoever wins, to help out their local community, help out your fire department, help out the volunteer stuff in your area. And that would mean more to me than getting a commission on it. We'll be back second half of the program. Mountain lion numbers going up in South Dakota. And we'll talk about that coming up your way next after these.
Agriculture is a community of hard work, passion, optimism for the future, and a commitment to the livestock and land. For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been a leader in ag financing. Our local lending team knows the industry and the challenges, from droughts to winter blizzards. Stop by one of our branches today in your work boots or cowboy boots. You're always welcome.
Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
Piper's 2024 auction calendar is heating up. Join us in Steel on April 23rd. Ad deadlines are fast approaching, so reach out to a Piper's representative today to ensure your equipment is featured in these Piper's regional auctions. Piper's is also hosting an exceptional lineup of retirement and estate equipment auctions in Mandan, Beach, Bowman, Glen Ellyn, and New Salem. For full details, information, and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the upper Midwest, log on to pipers.com.
Bowman Livestock Marketing, Bowman, North Dakota had a sale on Wednesday due to the weather. 759-pound steers were selling for $2,146 a head. 599-pounders anywhere at $1,900 and up. 426-pounders at $1,648. Some of the older cows weighing 1,420 pounds were at $1,831, and 1,595-pounders up to $2,057 a head. Bulls went anywhere from $2,600 to $3,100 a head. For more information and a full market report, go to BowmanLivestockMarketing.com or find them on Facebook. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran-owned and operated. Hello, cattle producers. Scott Bachmeyer on behalf of Medicine Rocks Angus Ranch. Please join us on April 26, 1 p.m. at the Bowman Livestock Market or online at frontierlivesales.com for an offering of 85 bulls and 65 commercial heifers. You wonder why docility is so important to Frank and Charlene? Well, I think Frank says it best.
We've raised black cattle for over 60 years and worked on disposition since we started. And I think we've made a lot of progress. We're both 85 now and won't win any foot races and don't climb fences like I used to. So aren't going to tolerate a cow with a bad attitude. So docility is a must in our operation.
See what a quality program and docility can do for your herd and your health. Medicine Rocks Angus Ranch, along with guest consignor Spring Angus. April 26, 1 p.m. Mountain Time at the Bowman Livestock Market. Lunch will be served at noon. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. Bowman Livestock Marketing, Bowman, North Dakota had a sale on Wednesday due to the weather. 759-pound steers were selling for $2,146 a head. 599-pounders anywhere at $1,900 and up. 426-pounders at $1,648, and 491-pounders anywhere at $1,630 to $1,650 a head. Some of the older cows weighing 1,420 pounds were at $1,831, and 1,595-pounders up to $2,057 a head. Bulls went anywhere from $2,600 to $3,100 a head. For more information and a full market report, go to BowmanLivestockMarketing.com or find them on Facebook. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. This portion of the program is brought to you by Freedom Repair. Whether it's a tractor, baler, your cutter, your combine, or air seeder, Freedom Repair comes to you and helps you get fixed up and back in the field. 19 plus years experience. Give Lucas Kelly a call at 701-440-1945. That's 701-440-1945. Freedom Repair, veteran owned and operated.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Good to have you along here this morning as we continue through the Dakota Territory, talking if I won the lottery or not. And I said, why does it cost so much money to run for anything political office-wise? And Jamie says advertising, swag, travel, and your election team is going to cost you a ton. Now, my question is, why do you need all that? Right? I know you need advertising so you get your name out so people vote for you, but why do you need an election team? I'd be one of those guys. It's like, let's just deal with it, right? Why does it have to be a rich man's thing in politics anymore?
Free statewide radio.
Yeah. Well, I'm on statewide right now. Here it is. I'd like to run for it. Vote for me. Done. I don't know if I got to pay for that or not. I have no idea. But I would do it as on a budget. I mean, good grief, So that's just, here's a reason why I don't run in politics is because I don't know the ins and outs, and I probably wouldn't like them. I don't want to know the ins and outs because if it takes, you got to be on this person's best behavior and this one and this one. It's like, but that's not representing the people. Let's get out of here. All right. We're done with that. South Dakota mountain lion season. They're up to 40 cats right now, Jesse. 40.
Wow.
All right. They're going to go to 60 or a limit of 40 females, whichever comes first. Right now, 25 females.
40 females. Wow.
Yeah. 25 females have been taken, 15 males, total of 40. Last weekend was a good weekend in Fall River County. You know where that is?
I do not.
The very southwest corner of South Dakota is Fall River County.
Okay.
So it's like Lawrence County is like lead, and then you got if you go south, Pennington County, Custer County, and Fall River County is right on the edge of Nebraska and Wyoming right there. So that's where the latest ones have been taken. And Pennington and Lawrence counties, I mean, that's your hot spots. But a 6.5-year-old female, which is getting up there in age for cats. That's one of the older ones taken. And a 96-pound female. Now, that surprises me because that female that was taken off our place here years ago was a 123-pound female.
Right.
And I'm looking at this like most of the males that have been taken, 128-pounder here. Here's a 146-pound male, a 5.5-year-old here. But that 128-pound is only a 3-year-old male. And I mean, South Dakota's, man, I tell you what, I'd love to do that. I know John Armin's daughter lives down there now, and she's able to go after that and have fun. And
I'm curious as to, I suppose they den up, and maybe that's why you don't find it. Maybe they die in there. And a lot of these cats have to end up dying of old age, but you don't find cat skulls laying around. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody finding a deadhead mountain lion skull, especially in North Dakota. That's kind of interesting as to where do they go when they just die to where nobody ever seems to find one of them,
That's a good question. Yeah. That'd be kind of fun wouldn't that be? I mean, everybody likes shed hunting, right? Could you imagine finding a mountain lion, a big old male mountain lion skull?
That'd be wild.
Canines in there and everything. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? It'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. What grinds your gears? What's grinding your gears today, Mr. Flath here? I got
wind because I'm on the road all day.
Man,
so
the wind is tough here. Hey, we got a caller. Let's see. Let's go to Jay Berg. Jay, who is sounds like he's out in the wind right now. Jay, what's going on?
Oh, just got to grind my gear for you.
What's up?
I would really grind gears. People that can't drive stick shift.
You know how hard it is to find a new vehicle with stick shift in it. You got to special order it.
That's why I find it, baby.
Buddy, the wind noise is so strong we can hardly hear you.
Anything he's saying, yeah.
Here, is that better?
That's
Sorry
a little
about
bit
that.
better.
I had you on speaker. The wind's actually not bad. It's only about 20 down here. We're checking south, but everything's kind of quite honest. We had our 9 yesterday, and it's kind of quiet this morning, but the other boss man is up today, so we're going to number brand our yearling heifers later this morning afternoon. If you're bored, come on over.
Well, you might get that, but I have the chili cook-off is in Rame, the Calcutta.
Okay.
Shoot and holler starts at 2:30. The Calcutta starts at 3. Now this is Rame times, which means everybody tells me, Scott, you can't be a time Nazi. And then so I'll be in Rame at that point, and if you want to come over there too.
Yeah, we'll see what time we get done here. So, because we're down to less than 40 head of cows and calves. I think we're going to be in a trickle effect here for a while. We're popping 9-10 a day, but I think we're going to slow up here a bit.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate the call in from the countryside. Yeah, absolutely. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Just making sure, because you were ignoring the phone calls there. I thought since you figured in winning the lottery, you got too good for us to even answer the calls anymore.
No, I just forget to look up at my phone system every once in a while. I have the ringer off. It's got a flash at me. So, yeah.
Yeah. Have a good show, sir. Just thought I'd give you the good grinding gears for the day, and we'll go from there.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, Jay. Appreciate you. 701 Nation says Lee Greenwood grinds my gears because he's an anti-gun person right now, too. So don't play the national anthem is what he says.
Yeah.
Tim says as soon as you announce your candidacy for state or national office, you would have to suspend your radio show due to equal time for your opponents. That's true. Oh, well, no, not necessarily. I think it is only if I'm announcing that I'm running on the show. But you are correct on that, because the candidacy everybody has to have equal time. But
All you'd have to do is say, I'm running, and this guy's running against me. There's your equal time.
well, I don't know if it works that way.
I don't either, but I'd try it.
Well, I just did. I just did before when I said write me in. Coyotes love cat meat. That's why you don't find any cat skulls left over anymore, because coyotes eat them all up. And they do.
All right.
I mean, you look at even my cow dog. We used to have 20 cats scratching around the whole place. Now we're lucky we have 3. And those 3 cats, one of them is in my haystack and lives in the haystack because he's mousing all the time. And the other 2 are in the old hip roof barn and refuse to come outside in the daylight. They're like
That's
vampire
funny.
cats in there because of my cow dog. So I can see that. There's no doubt. All right. So big 3, we got elk, bighorn sheep, and moose in the North Dakota side where I'm legal to be able to apply for this. I've been applying for many, many, many years. Why do you think it would be a good idea to have a point system so for my South Dakota listeners, North Dakota, the big 3, the elk, moose, and bighorn, is a once in a lifetime tag. Once you get it, you're done. Okay. Landowners that have elk and their land, you have to go through a process to get your land accepted as habitat for elk, is put into a separate lottery. Some folks get a tag every single year. The others go into a lottery, and you're lucky maybe every 4 or 5 years if you get a tag. So on that once in a lifetime, would it make sense to go to a point system like the landowners do? Because there's a point system for landowner tags. If you don't get one, you get an extra point, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, if you gain enough points, your name gets put in a few more times, and you hope that you get drawn one of these years, right? Would it make sense on the lifetime to have a point system? Because hunting elk is not a young man's game, or not an old guy's game. It's a young man's game. And I say that because I've helped every single one of these people that got an elk up by my place this year. I had to come up and help them, and I love doing it. But I think, the people I was talking, they said, I've been putting in for 40 years.
Right.
That's a long time. Why would you, I mean, an elk is not an old guy's game.
Yeah, it's just with the number of people that apply and the number of tags that are actually available. I don't know if the weighted lottery would really make that much of a difference, because everybody would end up with a whole bunch of points. It'd be a disadvantage to the young person that's just starting to apply. For instance, my girl's coming up. They would have less of a chance at drawing when they're younger because of the weighted system then on the older person's side, or the people that have been applying longer. Because of the low number of tags and the high number of applicants, I just don't know if it would really make much of a difference.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know either. But
we have them numbers. Jeb sent me those numbers here a year or 2 ago on the number of people that apply,
yeah,
the number of people that get their tag. it was very interesting. This is just going off the top of my head. If I remember right, on the elk side, if you apply for a cow tag, the draw is like just over a 50% success rate, which is pretty high. The bull tag for elk is considerably lower. It was way down there.
Right.
So I mean, you can get an elk tag if you want to just shoot an elk and get a cow. If you want that coveted North Dakota bull elk tag, it is a rare thing to come across.
It is. The only reason I say that is because I've helped this year 3 people that were over the age of 70, and there was no way they were going to do it by themselves.
Right.
And their main thing was, we've been applying for a long time. Just wish it would have happened sooner. Let's go to the phone lines here. John Armin's calling in here. Mr. Armin, good morning. How you been, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Fighting a little bit of a cold, so I sound a little different. But other than that, headed down to the ranch to kind of check on things and maybe go find some elk sheds. Have they dropped them yet?
Not so. As of yesterday, looking at about 23 bull elk, none of them have dropped in my area yet. But this is the month. I mean, April is the month that they usually do. But I still have mule deer, John, that haven't shedded yet their antlers.
That's crazy, and I'm sure we have the same thing.
Yeah, it's just been too nice of an open winter. I mean, there's no stress on them. Who did I tell that to? I said, there's no stress. They need stress in order to do this. And somebody said, well, geez, if you've been ranching for the last couple of years, I'd have shed. If I could grow my antlers every day, I'd shed them every day. Joe Miller said
that's funny. That's funny. Got a couple of things. When you're talking about the weighted lottery, maybe, because I know guys have asked about that.
Yeah.
And like Jesse was saying, it's a disadvantage to the young kids. And, maybe set aside so many tags to do the weighted system, and then the rest of them go normal. I don't know if they could do something like that. That would maybe make everybody happy. I know the thing they think is that there'd be so many guys like our age that have so many points that the young kids would never have a chance, so they quit putting in. And that could,
yeah, that's true.
That might make a difference. Yeah, a difference in money and that kind of thing too.
Yeah. I know it's a tough thing to balance. It's just hard for me to see a 73-year-old that's been putting in for 40 years that finally gets a license, and he literally cannot get that elk out of there by himself. And that's part of it. I mean, if you got drawn, and I'm going to ask Jesse this too. If you get drawn in June, you said, okay, I got an elk tag. What are you going to do physically, fitness wise, to prepare yourself to hunt an elk?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to get out there. It's one of those deals that hopefully you got some friends and some younger friends that are going to help you, because a lot of those places you're killing those elk, you got to quarter them up to get them out. And even to get back in the area to hunt them is not easy.
Yeah.
So,
well, Jesse, Jesse, what would you do if you got drawn for an elk tag? What would you do for training?
I would train my eyes on a tank of fuel for somebody that I know that has a bale bed pickup.
I see where I stand now.
That's pretty good, Jesse. That's real good. Smart thinking. And then I was going to say, you guys are talking about lions.
What is it? Think harder, work smarter.
Yep. When you guys are talking about lions, I was going to let you know. So Shelby and those guys, once again, last week or 2 weeks ago, they were in on 2 of them. One was a goof up. It just happened. But the first one, what they're doing now, and Shelby's pretty excited, is that she was working on a patient, and it was a rancher, and he's been finding lion kills of deer. So the kids are going to go out and they're going to sit on these piles, that these cats, bury their deer that they kill. And that's how they killed one last week. There was a lady, she's probably 50 years old. She killed her cat.
Nice.
Sitting over a kill. And they've got a video that just awesome. Connor was sitting down. They were calling. They were using a female in heat call, and he heard something behind him, and he didn't turn because it was so close. And this big Tom jumped down. He said he could have touched him right next to him, didn't see him, and walked right by him.
Wow.
And they got film of this. And it was pretty exciting. And the young lady that was hunting, I think, just grazed him across the backside, and the cat took off. And they looked for it for 2-3 days. Yeah, it was terrible. I'll send you the video.
You could have got a tiger by the tail.
Oh, and that's what Connor said. He would not look at him because he didn't know what would happen if he locked eyes with him. He didn't have a gun or anything because he'd already filled his tag, and so he was pretty nervous.
Could you imagine with your just heartbeat going on that stuff? So yeah, it's awesome.
So how does that work down there, John, or maybe Scott? You know this too. They're taking 40 cats, 40 females, or 60 cats. They're looking at going to. Is it like North Dakota where it's just open to all residents until it's filled, or do you have to actually buy a mountain lion tag in South Dakota?
So in South Dakota, it is as long as you got your fur bearers, and it is resident only.
Right, and you have to have a tag.
Yeah.
You have to have a tag. Yeah, because I know that the kids had talked about that, because at one time Shelby had gotten her tag or ordered her tag, but she wasn't able to pick it up in time, so she had to wait.
Yeah.
So she couldn't hunt, so they have to do the tag.
So if you get a tag and you're out there hunting and the quota gets filled, your tag is just done for the year and you didn't fill.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
What's the cost on a tag like that down there?
Gosh, I don't know. I'd have to have the kids.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know either here. It doesn't. I'm on
Okay.
South Dakota's website, and it doesn't
Just
say anything
interesting.
about
It's a little different way to go about it, to where it's like in North Dakota, there is technically no tag other than your fur bearer's license. And so if the limit is open and you see one, you can take it. So interesting that they do it a little different way, but there's a lot bigger concentration down there too. So it's a little different situation.
Yeah, no shortage of them, it sounds like. So
No.
Anyway, well, you guys, I'm just filling up with some gas I'm hauling the tractor down. I better have a full tank with this wind.
All right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not going to make it down there. So you guys have a great day.
Thanks, John. Appreciate the call.
See you,
Thank
John.
Yeah.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
So we got a few text messages coming in here. And Wayne says, not sure if the points would work. Too much point creep. However, everyone that applies should have proof of actual having a deer license in the past and should have lived in North Dakota at least 1 year. Josh says, my boy was out shed hunting last weekend by Dunn Center. He says that he's seen bucks with antlers still on. I got a text message that says, meanwhile, I'm watching a whitetail buck that lost his antlers in January. He's pushing 2 new inches on new growth right now.
Oh.
And Eric asked, can you hunt off of a horse? That is a good
Oh,
question. I thought
We looked into that years ago, and I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Maybe it was a question
think-
somebody asked, and we never looked into it deep enough.
I think and I'm just stabbing here, I think you can ride in, but I don't think it's legal to actually shoot off the horse
Right.
if you have a horse that's good enough to shoot off of. I believe that's what we found out, but man, that'd be a call we'd have to make again to Bismarck to find that out.
Every single horse is good enough to shoot off at least once.
It's just if you were good enough to stay on afterwards. Absolutely.
I did that with my neighbor's horse at one time. I came back and I says, the cows would move, so I grabbed bird shot and shot him. And he said, you shot off of that horse? I said, yeah. He's like, well, thanks for breaking it in for me. I tell you what, Jesse, we're up against the final 40 seconds of our program here. We're going to continue on a little bit on YouTube side, but I appreciate you coming on and talking about grinding gears and everything. Question here put to me, it says, can you will preference points to a family member if you're 75 years old and die with 40 points? You should be able to transfer those points to a kid or spouse. We'll cover that coming up, and I don't think that they'll ever accept that. But anyway, thanks for coming on the program. Have yourself a great weekend. Eat meat, drink milk, and wear fur and wool. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good weekend. All right, stations, thank you for continuing with me for 20 damn years here. Appreciate that. Give them a little bit of a break here before we go on to the other side, just in case some of their systems don't do that. I'm getting comments on my YouTube channel from last night. And my Game and Fish confirmation, you have successfully processed your application for deer gratis for Dixie and Scott Bachmeyer. Good.
Nice. Yeah, Wayne Moose mentioned his point creep. That's something that is talked about down in Wyoming.
What's point creep? I don't understand that.
So I started buying elk points in Wyoming a number of years ago, and last year I think I forgot to purchase it. I believe I've got 5 or 6 points down there now. Well, there are these special units where, you don't even technically apply until you have enough points. And North Dakota actually has that available now. Let's say this coming year during deer season, something comes up and I know I'm not going to be around and be able to hunt, but I can go on there and buy a point, but not apply.
I see.
So that's how Wyoming does it in some of these elk units is you cannot apply until you have at least so many points purchased. And when I first started buying these points, a couple of these areas with 5 points, you could apply. With 6 points, you were dang near guaranteed a tag.
Yeah.
Well, now I believe it's up to like 7 or 8 points before you can apply, and even more before you kind of can consider it a guaranteed tag.
Right.
And the reason that that's been creeping up is because more and more people are buying points. So all of a sudden, more people are applying that have 5 or 6 points, and your chances have gone way down. So then they pushed up that minimum. So it's kind of a different way to say what I was saying. That there's so many people applying, and after so many years, so many people are going to have all these points. When 2/3 of the people that are applying all have 40 points, now the points don't matter.
I got you.
It's still, so that's kind of.
I see.
It's because of the number of applicants compared to the number of tags. At some point that just don't work, and I think that's probably why North Dakota went with the once in a lifetime single draw. If you get it, you don't system.
Yeah.
Was because I'm guessing that's one thing they considered is points aren't going to matter in the long run anyway.
Wouldn't the same be considered for deer then?
No, because there's the number of tags and the number of people applying are a way closer number than it is for elk. And I'm just going to throw fake numbers out there.
Yeah.
You got 100,000 deer tags and 150,000 people applying, but you've got 10 elk tags and the same 150,000 people applying.
Yeah, I see what you're going at. Yeah. So message comes in, says, my son was archery hunting for our target buck. He had his antlers on Friday, January 5th. Saturday the 6th, he came in and says they both had dropped off. On the other hand, numerous bucks with current headgear. So, yeah, it is. Some bucks have them, some don't. Some lost them in January, some didn't.
Well, I wonder if we're still not seeing some leftover remnants of the EHD and stuff. When that hit really hard, there was some animals that never did lose their antlers from one year to the next on that. What was it, 3 years ago or whatever, when that really went through? It messed things up for a while, and I wonder if we're not still seeing some residual effects on that.
Marty says mountain lions go to die in the same place Sasquatch go to die. That's why you can't find them.
Awesome.
Darren says grinding gears when your kid comes home from school and they said for school that day they had to hide a Jew.
What?
I have no idea. That's what he said.
Oh, they must be learning about the Holocaust and whatnot.
Oh, okay. So that would make sense if you explain it a little bit more, Darren, because that is probably one of the most racist things I've said on this show.
Yeah, I'm sure they were learning about the Holocaust. I think Karina came home. It must have been Shanley or not Shanley, Liam. I don't know, whichever one of his is the youngest. They're in the same class, and I think that's what the deal was.
Okay. Yeah.
Hide a Jew. Wow.
Gotta go hide a Jew. At least they're learning about it. There's some schools that don't even teach what the Holocaust was. So at least they're learning about it. That's nice.
Holocaust, the 9/11 incident in the United States is even starting to, they're talking about it less and less. And
it triggers people, Jess. It triggers me.
Maybe Darren, you want to get your pants on and I'll pick you up in about 10 minutes. You can make a road trip with me today.
Yes. Bring them to the chili cook-off in Rame.
I'll go down. We'll go down and help my dad fix his car quick, and then about an hour he can just take a nap, and I'll go to a funeral. And then when that's done, Darren and I can go to Chili Cook-Off and Rame.
Absolutely not. You bring his sorry butt right over to my place, and he'll ride in with me.
Well, I don't got time for that by the time I get out of here now.
Drop him off in Amadon at the curve and have him start walking. Let me know. I'll pick him up. I'll go pick him up.
All right, Mondo, there you go. In the next 10 minutes, you text me if you want to go to Bowman and Slope County today.
Have the best damn day of your life. It's the best Saturday you'll have. He says he's going to hitchhike. And the best part is, in Slope County on the gravel roads, they'll pick you up.
Absolutely.
You're probably going to have about 12 beers before you get to my place because everybody's going to bold BS with you. But yeah, no, I'm batching it here. My wife's in Portland, continuing education. Steve says, what General Patton said. Look it up.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Now I got to look it up. Jesse, I plan to come up to the advisory board meeting on April 17th. Are you going? Wayne asks. Are you doing that?
I don't know.
Here's my issue with advisory meetings. I used to go to all of them, and they give me the same thing. You ask questions, or somebody would ask a question. They said, we're going to look into that, and they never look into it. They never come back in the next advisory meeting and say, well, we looked into this, and this is what we found. And it soured everybody because it's like, nothing gets accomplished, and then not only that, it becomes like a bitching session where all these people are just bitching at the Game and Fish instead of trying to find solutions to it, and of course, Game and Fish, they don't like to get yelled at, right? I mean, you got to look at it from both sides. And I don't know. I wish advisory meetings would produce more outcomes. Would be nice here. So
yeah, I think part of the wildness of them now has come from the lack of results, or what the landowners and the sportsmen view as lack of results, because they've been asking for certain things, and there's been no movement, no answers. So then things get contentious. So I don't know. I think they've got their place, but they sure are frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. So General Patton, I pulled up quotes. He has a few. The first one says, lead me, follow me, or get out of my way. The next one is never tell people how to do things. The next one says, watch what people are cynical about, and one can often discover what they lack. I like that one. And if I win, I can't be stopped. So I don't know which one you're referring to, but I'm guessing that one of those may have covered it. I like them. Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice to have that type of attitude from all of our political leaders going in with the ideas like, you know what, this is what we're going to do for the best of our people in our country, first and foremost. And once we take care of our people, then we're going to worry about the rest of the world. And if we can help somebody out, we will.
Yeah.
It's no different than we started this conversation. I said, if we win the lottery, I'm going to help out my local community.
Right.
Wouldn't that be nice to take that into a national side of things?
Yeah.
Oh, he says we fought the wrong enemy. I got you. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that was the quote. So, well, buddy, I appreciate you. I'm gonna go out and check through cows here. This wind, holy cow! Yesterday and the day before, putting in that water line, that thermal sink, and I'm still digging dirt out of my eyes. Yesterday just whooped me.
I'm sure
it just took it all out of me, and so I'm gonna have to go out and check these little babies. I had a lot of calves out my cows yesterday.
Yeah,
they really came on. But hey, Mund, put your dress on and get your ass down here.
I'm leaving my yard right now to go fuel up at the local co-op, and then I'm hitting the road. So,
message Jesse, have a little fun down here today. I know hockey season for your kids is 12 months long. Take a day off. All All right.
I
Thanks,
think
Jay.
they're actually done.
Really? No.
I think so. I think their season's done finally.
Well, it starts up in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Practice starts in 3 weeks. And you got to
Yeah.
get all new equipment.
Yeah, because they grow so dang much.
Oh, man. And nobody
Yeah.
wants to go to Plate Against. Do they still have Plate Against Sports? Is that still a thing?
Oh, you know, that one in Bismarck used to be just east of the baseball field there, and I don't think that one's there anymore, but I'm not sure if there's any secondhand sporting goods stores anymore. Yeah, that used to be huge.
I used to love going to Plate Against Sports.
Yeah.
Josh,
Remember when we went to the
Josh
pawn
says-
shop in Mandan and bought wakeboarding and snowboarding stuff?
Oh, yeah. Josh says, nope, they all closed up. Okay. I'll be
darned. Okay.
But yeah, I love pawn shops, man. I enjoyed, especially, was it Jay's Pawn Shop on the Strip in Mandan?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think he had one over in Bismarck too.
Yeah, that's where the indoor pistol range is at now.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is.
Pawn
Yeah.
shop up front and the pistol range in the back.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember.
I think that one in Mandan, that location, I believe they closed down. That's a used car dealership now.
Okay.
I don't think that's a pawn shop anymore.
Remember Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Gary's Gun Shop. They had an indoor range in the middle of Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. I used to go down there every weekend and just rent because at that time in my life, I couldn't afford a 500 pistol, right? So I wanted to shoot a 500, and I went down and rented one, and I just had a blast.
I still haven't ever actually shot one of those.
Eric says Gary's is still open.
Okay.
Next time, so I do the Sioux Falls auction in the fall time. The spring one I'm calving, so fall time they take me down there. I'm gonna take Andy Murnock and say, you know what, Andy? We're taking an hour out of our time. We're gonna go to Gary's Gun Shop. We're gonna rent some guns that we've never shot before, handguns. And we're gonna go in and shoot those son of a guns.
That's how I shot through my very first suppressor. I was actually in San Antonio, Texas, with my wife. She was pregnant with our second child. So it was 10 years ago.
Did you ever find out who the dad was?
I did. Yeah. And she was in meetings all day. I went with because she wasn't that far from due date. And I said, you're not going to Texas and having something happen and having a baby down there by yourself. I'm going with.
Yeah.
Well, it was my sneaky way to get a little 7-day vacation. So I hung out in the bar at the Mangor Hotel for about 6 days. But I took a day and I went to the big whichever big giant sporting goods store they have. I spent about a half a day there. And then I took a taxi and I went to a gun shop. I looked up gun shops, found one with an indoor range, and I went there and they had a custom Remington 700 with an 18-inch barrel with a suppressor on it. And you could rent that gun with 20 rounds of ammo for I think it was $50, which seemed like an outrageous amount, but I'm like, I want to try this. So I did it. And I bought a second box of ammo because it was pretty neat. It was an indoor range. It was extremely quiet. There was 3 other guys in there with me. When I shot, they stopped shooting to see what the heck that weird sound was. And we sneakily took our ears out. We took our earplugs and our earmuffs off, which you were not supposed to do, even with the suppressed gun because of the gun range rules. But we were the only 3 in there. So we took our hearing protection out, and I let them guys each shoot a couple of rounds out of my ammo. And I think that next week when I got home, I called you, and that's when I ordered my first suppressor because I was sold. So
Josh says the Personal Defense Center is in the back part of Jay's Pawn Shop.
there you go. That's the name of it. Yep.
Yeah. Oh man,
them guys did a lot of the FFL work for a lot of the banquets that we used to be involved with.
Yep.
Good guys.
Yeah. Most of those FFL guys are pretty damn good guys.
Yeah, except for that one in South Dakota. He's something else. That's how we both met the mayor of Mobridge.
I
He was
know.
an
I know.
FFL for
Yeah.
some of our events.
Yeah, the first time I met him, I was doing the emceeing. What is it in Mobridge? It's not overlooking the lake there. Is it the Moose or the Elks or?
Yeah, one of them. I don't remember what it is.
Anyway, I got that AR and I did the paperwork with old Gene there. That was the first time I sat and met with him. Yeah.
Yeah. The connections and friends we've made over the years going around doing goofy things. It's been fun.
It's been great. And
Yep.
and that's the thing is, we still do it, but it seems like, especially the NRA stuff, once they switched people, you don't even hear about the events. I don't even see them advertised anymore.
Oh, Mundo's calling me. Hang on.
Take it.
Get him on the watch here. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, we're still on YouTube. I got you on my watch and I got Bachmeyer on my phone. I didn't even know I could do that.
You might not be able to do it. First NRA banquet I attended was in Mobridge, yeah. Good stuff.
All right. Next time when I'm going down there for a day trip with just me, I'll make sure I let you know ahead of time. All right.
See, backing
Catch
out.
you later.
He's wimping out.
Bye.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he had 2 other prior commitments. His niece is going to her first prom, and he promised her that he'd come. And then he's got, they're moving beer coolers around out at the golf course, and he's lined up to help with that. So,
Yeah. All right.
I get it. Everybody's busy these days. There's always something to do. That's for sure.
Hey, as long as they're helping out in the community and doing stuff, I have no problem with people being busy. What
Yep,
I
Darren's
have,
good about that.
Yeah.
Darren stays involved in a lot of stuff.
What I have a problem is when people say they're busy, they're too busy to help, but all they're doing is just like nothing for the community, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. You can donate every hour of your waking moment.
Yep.
You have to say no sometimes, and I get that. But man, it takes those type of people to make everything go around. There's no doubt.
Well, it has happened up here recently. Hang on here. Let me get out of the wind. I'm getting the fuel in my pickup.
Do you remember the first NRA banquet? I can't remember the first one I went to.
Oh, I do. I remember mine well. It was in Beulah, North Dakota. And I got a call from a fellow that said, "Hey, these guys need some sound. Can you take them some sound?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess."
That's because I was doing the emceeing.
And then I went over there, and that was the first time I met Clay Peterson. And Clay said, "Yeah, so what time are you coming to get on the mic?" And I said, "What do you mean get on the mic?" "Well, Scott told me he can't come, so you're going to MC tonight." Like, "Oh, did he?" And that was the first banquet that I emceed solo by myself.
Oh.
Because you got sick or something happened and you all of a sudden couldn't come up. So I showed up in dirty clothes to set up my sound equipment and went.
I was there.
Not that first year. No, you laid an egg on me that first one, and that's how I got roped into that deal.
I can't remember my first one.
Then the next year you came up and we tag teamed it because then later on that year they asked to use my sound for a couple of other events.
Yeah, that's right.
And then that's when you and I did the 2-man emceeing for the first time and realized how well it worked, and then away we went. About 6, 7, 8 years later, we were still doing it, and now 15 years later, we're still doing it a little bit.
Yeah. Jamie said, "I want a gun at the Bismarck Elks NRA banquet. You emceed that. That was before I even knew you. 257 Weatherby he won."
What the heck?
So I remember I did the Farm and Home show in Lemon, South Dakota for the radio station.
Okay.
I had a booth there, and Clay's dad came up to my booth.
Oh, really?
And introduced himself, and then I think he called Clay and says, "You need to come in and meet this guy." And that's how Clay and I met.
Okay.
Was through a Farm and Home show for a radio station that my program was on. And but I can't remember the first actual banquet I did.
Huh.
Can't remember. but we did a lot of
I know
them.
you did Dickinson. You did Dickinson a couple years or a couple times before I got involved. I know that.
I did a lot of them. I did Mandan, Bismarck, Mobridge. Maybe it was Mobridge was one of the first ones I went down and helped MC. I can't remember the first one.
Yeah.
You think losing your virginity to an NRA banquet, you'd remember that.
Yeah. My very
can't.
first, what's the furthest you went for an NRA banquet?
It'd have to be a toss-up between Williston and Rapid City or Deadwood.
Okay.
Yeah, they never got me on the eastern side of the state because I'm not an East River guy. You know, I didn't fit in on their flair.
My furthest two that I went to, I believe I went to Rapid City with you once, which from up here was a long ways. And then I made my way out to Grand Forks with Morgan and them guys and went to Grand Forks' banquet one year.
Yeah, I never did make it to Grand Forks. Never made it to the Brookings one.
I rolled into Grand Forks without telling them guys I was coming. I wanted to surprise them because we had met quite a few of those Grand Forks committee members over the years.
And they're good dudes. Absolutely.
Yep,
Good guys.
and Sarah had some stuff that she was involved in Fargo that was the same weekend as the Grand Forks event. So I went out there with her, and she caught a ride to the day's meetings, and I grabbed the car and headed north and rolled into the event and surprised them guys and ended up helping out a little bit, and it was fun. It was a good time.
The most fun banquet I've ever been to was Deadwood.
Oh.
They had there was a group that did it in Deadwood at the Deadwood Mountain Grand.
Okay.
And the reason why, one, is they encourage people to dress appropriately for the 1800s. And that's when I was in the old hip roof barn and I found an old pair of long shotgun shaps. And it took me a gallon of oil to get them pliable again. They were dry. And it was such a fun event. And we had, as an MC, they had their own sound crew because they have concerts and everything at the Deadwood Mountain Grand.
Oh, right. Yep.
And we had professional audio going on. I mean, it was so much fun. We only did it one year.
Cool.
That's how I met Corey Johnston from Lane LLC.
Oh, yeah.
Down at
that booth?
Yeah. No, he was there as a guest and donated a suppressor. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Dan Brown says he went to Grand Forks and Yankton. Yankton. I've never been to that.
Yankton. That's down there.
Eric says
Dan Brown's listening. Cool. I haven't seen that guy in a while.
Yeah, he's been tuning in here the last few times. So
good.
That's nice. Yeah. I seen him in he comes over to the Belfield Sportsman's Club once in a while too. And
oh, that's right. Yeah.
I seen him there. Eric says shouldn't said this, but I've never made it to an NRA banquet. It seems like there's always something else going on. And there is.
It is.
There's no doubt. It's always
like we said earlier, busy times. If you say you've got nothing to do, you're not looking very hard.
Yeah. And the banquets, and everybody has their different thoughts. I mean, I have a hard time going to some banquets just because of what they did politically wise, and
yeah,
that's just what you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna. My girls have asked, so I'm going to go to my first Pheasants Forever banquet in probably 15 years this year because they wanted to go.
Yeah.
So I will.
Yep. And
guess who I just saw? I just saw two people in Hazen, North Dakota that you know.
Bridget Miller.
Nope.
Al Getz.
Nope. That's a good guess.
I'm just thinking of people that are up in that area. Give me a hint.
Well, one of them is going to prom tonight.
Give me an age.
17.
17, going to Hazen prom. Are they in rodeo?
Nope. But they know how to lay cement. My neighbor, Wyatt.
Well, you're talking people I know up there.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, so Wyatt, I just saw Wyatt. He's fueling up his pickup. He's getting ready to go to prom. So I wish him luck tonight. You know what I mean? And then
Good luck at prom, Wyatt.
the other one that I saw just now at Senex as I was fueling up was a blast from the past for you and I.
Chris
Let's
Bell.
call it.
Ixnay on the Spotlight Ski and Town Ski.
Ranch guys are
Oh,
planning
yeah,
as well.
All right, Wayne Muth is
Good
on
morning.
with us now. Good morning, Wayne.
Hey guys.
All right.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice hearing Jesse again. It's been a while, man.
It has.
And
Yeah, good
get
deal.
this, he's going to miss branding this year because,
What?
yeah, he's got
Who's,
family vacation that he put at branding time.
I didn't do anything.
Jesse, it was your
I-
chance to be on national TV this time.
I know.
Come on, man.
I know. I'm going to miss out. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
not the scheduler. I was not asked. Tickets were booked, and I was told.
Oh, really? What the
So-
heck? You're going to have to find another brander there, Scott.
Guess what you're doing, Wayne? You and Rob Brooks. There you go.
There you go.
Get nominated into that. Yeah, I was gonna just touch base. I did talk to the executive producer, and they're excited. They said, yeah. He said, yeah, we're gonna make arrangements. We want to get out there, so they are making arrangements to get out. Hopefully, they'll get out earlier that week. I've got numerous things set up for them. Doing the content producing for it would be actually the season 3. Season 2 is going to be this fall. That's already done.
Right.
But it would be for actually next year. So hopefully they can get all the arrangements made. We can get out there. And I'm going to try and make arrangements to bring out a couple horses. Levi's not going to be there because he's going bear hunting. And if I can't make arrangements, you have an extra horse out there, Scott, for River?
Yeah, that's easy.
got that?
enough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy enough.
Okay. Good. Yeah, because, we'll have to see how they want to do it. They have their drones, and they'll be doing video and hooking up guys with mics and all that good stuff. So, it's
Okay, so if
very
they're going to
professionally done. It
if
should
they're
be
going to
fun.
do drones with horses, it's going to be a rodeo.
Well, they go really high.
Okay.
They they can stay pretty high with those. Yeah, those guys are very good about what they do. So we just got to give them instructions on, where to be and kind of how high to be on those things and what's going to spook.
Send them to the northeast corner of the pasture to clear the draws with them drones.
yeah, we won't have to send the Wheelers back up there.
Hey, Levi. That's where Levi and I went last year. And that's why we were the last two back to the branding because we were way shit in the back and trying to get cattle out of the trees and and some of the wild ones get awfully close to the horse when they're charging back, and Yep.
Yeah, they're survivors. I'll
it'll
tell
be
you
a good
that.
time. Yeah, and I have we're looking to go up to Benny's too as well. With his rotational grazing and the NFR piece, the bull riding piece, the band thing, all that stuff could be good TV. So
and his major appearance in the rap video. Master P. Yeah.
Yep, and he's taking over for Bill Palaniuk and the Cowboy Dakota Cowboy piece. That's good. Where does Dave Erlacher live from your place, Scott?
Oh, he's up north. He's between Belfield and Southheart area.
Oh, he is. Okay. Yeah. Because we want to touch base with him and his saddle making and what he's doing for the NFR Bronx and whatnot too. So, it's another piece.
So during the Belfield Sportsman's Club thing, he's a big supporter of that. He's a volunteer for it. And we were doing a lot of this stuff together. He was helping ring a lot of the auction parts of it. And I made the comment. I said, we're fortunate in this area to have, and he had 10 or 11 of the saddles out of the 15 at the NFR were his. And I made that comment. I said, you guys don't realize we're in the presence of one of the top saddle builders for bronc riders in the entire world. I said he had 10 or 11 of the saddles in the NFR were his, and he's right here in front of us. And everybody stood up and clapped for him and everything. And he came up to me and he shook my hand. He said, Scott, thank you. He says, that's the first time anybody's ever recognized me. I'm like, you got to be shitting me.
Really?
You got to be shitting me.
Yeah. I know, that's crazy. I talked with him for a half hour. We visited and told him about what we'd like to do, and he agreed to do it. And he had said, he doesn't really build just regular roping saddles and such anymore.
No, it's
all in the NFR. It's all for the.
Yeah, it's all saddle bronc saddles anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, just saddle. Yeah, he's doing really good with that. So it's so cool. And we've got multiple things set up, so it should be fun. And I hope those guys can get here. And it'll be a little bit of a jaunt out there early in the morning to get there, but we'll make it happen, I guess. So
well, you can always come the day before and help me set panels up.
Yeah, could do that too. At least. Well, if nothing else, if I could get down there, if I'm bringing horses down or something, that may be the case or something like that. And then just meet those guys at the Amadon corner or something, make sure they don't get lost.
Yeah. So, another thing you could look into is if River Class, he said that he wanted to buy his next horse he's going to buy from Fralix. You should call Fralix and see if they got one that he can actually use and say, all right, you want to buy one? Here's one to test out.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. I'll have to touch and see if he's going to go through it. Go through with it. He said if he had a horse trailer here on his last trip, he said he would have bought a couple of them for sure. Yeah, he loved their horses, that's for sure.
Yeah. How many person crew do they roll with, Wayne?
Yeah. What's that?
How many person crew do they have, or how many people are going to be coming?
Well, they've had usually 1 to 2 executive producers, and then there's depends on which one will come. Then there's a director of videography, and they had they had 2 videographers, but then they also had a local gal that they bring down with them. I'm not sure if she'll come, and then the host. So it's going to be about 4 people, 4 to 5 normally. Yeah.
I need to know that for the food. Yeah, I need to know that for the food.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. Usually it'll be Scott Laseth or Jim Therese, there's 2 executive producer. One of them will come, River, and then 1 or 2 videographers. So, they do a good job and very professionally done. I tell you, it's pretty cool. So, yeah.
Well, I know one person for sure you need to mic up.
Some good Badlands stuff.
Yeah, I need one.
Who's
person.
that?
Turk Stark.
Turk Stark. I knew that's what you were going to say.
Stark?
He's a very eloquent in speaking, and he says it correctly. He's he's really good at speaking on behalf of the cattle industry. And he's the one that I stole the whole thing from. Is none of us are in the business of raising cattle. We're in the business of raising grass. Cattle are a byproduct of what we try to manage the most. And he is the one that I stole that line from. And he's a good one. He's no doubt. He'd be a good one for interviewing as you're riding, because he's good with he knows as much of the history of this ranch as anybody.
Yeah. Well, that's good. The content is great if we can get all kinds of good content. I know when the executive producer called me the other day, he goes, Wayne, he said, if you could get eight episodes from North Dakota, that would really make it easy.
Yeah, no
That's
shit.
a lot of content. The one-stop shop, He said, yeah, you got 3 other season 2, 3 episodes. That's pretty cool. We got 3 episodes out of the 8 from North Dakota coming up. So we'll get some more here. So, yeah. It's been fun. It's been really interesting working with these guys, and just fun meeting so many great people in North Dakota that you didn't know. And I know quite a few already for what we've been through, but yeah, it's pretty fun. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Jesse's going to miss out. Jesse would have been a good one to mic up too.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at the days that my wife has blocked out for this trip, and I got to confirm with her, but it looks like I'm not going to land back in North Dakota until the night of the branding day. But I'll got to confirm that with her and make sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss it.
Yeah. Yeah. They have GoPros that they hook up on things. I mean, when we went to some of the other ranches, we just hooked them up right on two GoPros inside their side by side and went around and talked and interviewed them with that as well and got different points of view. I wonder if we could do one on a horse somehow. And,
absolutely.
Maybe put one on a helmet or a cap or something.
They make chest mounts for them, harnesses that you wear like binoculars.
Yeah, they make it. They got a long neck that comes out and then turns around so it's facing you. And yeah, just mount it on the damn saddle horn.
Yeah, they could do that. They have what they call is a gimbal. Those are those frames that these guys hold around themselves.
Yep.
And these gimbals, they actually balance the camera so there's not motion, so they can walk with it and it's flat. Because we did some. They rode in the back of a vehicle as River and I were riding horse down these trails. And it's all smooth video because that gimbal makes that happen. So that may be something. I don't know if you could control a horse with a gimbal on.
It'd probably work good on one of my horses, but the Charlie horse, it's going to be a rough son of a bitch with a gimbal or not.
Oh,
he's like
sure.
He's like riding a skid steer.
Is that the one with the square wheels?
Yeah. Josh says, what's the name of the show you're talking about? Where can somebody watch it?
Okay, it is Ranch America. It is on the Outdoor Channel. Their season 1 episodes are rerunning again, and they're probably listed as season 2, but they're reruns from season 1. They're on Friday nights, I believe, right now. They started it last spring in March, but they moved that opening now to the fall because they've had such good input on it and viewership. They wanted to continue to build on that, so they moved it to the fall where there's going to be more viewership. So the new season, when it comes up, I will let everybody know. And it's just a great story to be told.
Yeah.
So that's good. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. You guys have a good one, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks, Wayne.
You bet. Take care, guys. You bet. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Jesse, I better go too. I got to get some chores done here, and I know I got to be in Rame and then Bowman for auctions today and tonight. And I guarantee damn well to you that these 5 heifers are going to calve tonight.
Yeah. So you get done with your auction in Bowman, you just need to head home.
Yeah. Same thing. I'm going to do the auction in Rame, come back, check heifers, drive to Bowman, do that, get done, come back.
Sucks.
Yeah. It's just the way when I moved them out of the barn this morning, I looked at like the one that I sent you that video, her scratching her ass.
Yeah.
She has got to be within hours away here. So, I mean,
well, hopefully you got like 4 of them laying on the ground right now when you head out there and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll find out. But hey, appreciate
them
it,
up
man.
And call it a night. So I'm just headed south of Beulah here, so I'll be in Bowman and we'll see how my timing goes on whether I can get over there and give you a hand or not.
Okay, sounds good. Catch you later.
You bet. Bye.
All right, YouTube. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. You guys have a good day. Enjoy. Well, evidently, I'm gonna have a film crew for branding. So, yeehaw! Let's hope it doesn't get rained out. Or let's hope it does get rained out.